lots of things for free. One of the free opportunities is that we work together every morning, Monday through Thursday, from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. We're all in a Zoom room. Some of the women like to keep their video on, even though they've muted themselves during the work sessions, because they want to see as if, you know, they have an office cubicle and can look around the corner and see their friend in the next cubicle. They don't want to feel so alone. One of our ladies is from Uganda, and just lonely there. So she says, keep your video on. I want to see your faces. So sometimes we do that. But for the most part, we buckle down the first 15 minutes. We just visit and chat, pray together, talk about what we're working on for the day, not holding each other very accountable, but, you know, just talk about what we're working on. We pray for one another, and then we buckle down and set a Pomodoro timer for 25 minutes with a 5-minute break, 25, 5, 25, 5, 25. It works. Lots of people have said, and one woman said, well, I don't write. We've used it for writing mostly, for our writing retreats and things like that. And one of the ladies said, I don't write a nonfiction, I write fiction. It takes me 25 minutes just to get into my character and get buckled back down. And we just said, give it a try. She didn't want to take a break after 25 minutes. We said, just give it a try. And she fell in love with it. So that's free. You're welcome to come. We've made lifelong friendships there. What's new in NACWE? More of the same. Is not new, but more of the same. We will still do Pomodoro. Someone shows up every morning for you. At the end of it, we pray again with one another and just say goodbye. Hope you have a great day. It's been a great connection tool for us. The Tuesday community and education webinars will continue for as long as I'm the president. When we hand it off to somebody else, I don't know what they will do, but I just love that part of it. And they're recorded. If you're an NACWE member, you receive all of those replays. If you're just in the NACWE Freedom group, you usually only get the first one of the month. And the first one of the month is posted online as well in a free training page at the top of the website. And we rotate, probably there's a couple of dozen lessons in there, and we rotate them on and off all the time. Callie does that for you. So really, if one of your friends wants to join NACWE and you're a NACWE affiliate and you want to get the 10% commission when they join, and they're iffy about the education that we offer, send them there for a sample of what we have to offer. Love it, love it, love it. We will continue to pray for you. The team prays for you. We meet every Monday. We meet, some of us meet at other times as well, just specifically to pray for you. And so let us know your prayer requests. We will continue to promote you. And the way we do that is under the Marketplace Monday meme. Now the little arrow is working. Isn't that just the most fascinating thing? So these are supposed to be scrolling for you all day, and it's what some of you paid for. And so Callie will get these out to everybody as well, because we couldn't make it work. So yeah, there's a little smattering of our social media and our YouTube. This should be in your magazine.
It's like
well.
the next to the last page.
On the next to the last page.
Oh, and there's the free training URL.
Here's free training URL. And a sample of the marketing classroom. Callie, thank you for putting that together. We have a conference. Membership is $365 a year. Diane is always laughing at me for changing things around, but I just wanted it to be $1 a day. I figure if you don't drink a Coke, you'll be fine. You can manage $1 a day, and what you get for it is worth way so much more than that. But we have a conference special for you if you're not an NACWE member and you're thinking, I really need what you have to offer, and you do. We have a 50% off code just through the end of this conference, through Sunday, the 22nd. We don't do that very often, so. And then we have we received 2 new members last night. I was scrolling through my email, and there they were, and really they're new old members. Lou is one of them, so we asked her to come in and introduce herself. Lou used to be our education coordinator, and how do I say this? Was a traitor and went back to corporate America.
I got the deal I wanted.
She sure did. Then she negotiated. That was a wonderful thing to behold. And they needed you, and I think, yeah. So she still works on the side and talks to us a lot about culture. And then another old new member came back last night. So we'll introduce her in a few days once she clicks the right buttons and everything. So very exciting. It's always great to add new people and new old people as well. We're a family. I love that about us. the really new thing is the app. We have, I realize that it costs thousands of dollars to get an app to work. I wish Kathy was here because she could put in her 2 cents, and maybe we'll ask her to do that later. But I wanted, when you look on your phones and you're in the app store for Christian women entrepreneur apps, there just aren't very many, and I wanted you to be able to have access to NACWE, to the membership page if you're a member, to the blogs, to so many different things on your phones and on your iPad if you wanted it. And so Janie started us on this amazing journey. I finally said, okay, this was a lot harder than we thought, but maybe it should have been. If everybody could put an app together in 30 days, then everybody would be putting an app together in 30 days. So we started this journey last year. So some of the artwork that you see here, Janie got started for us. And then Janie, speaking of going back to corporate America, Janie did the same. And so we've got Kathy working on it now. And really, at home, on a laptop, on the dining room table, there's a little wheel going around trying to upload this thing. We're that close. We're that close. So watch for that. You can type in NACWE when you get ready to search for it, and we'll give it to all of y'all who are here at the conference for free. You can type in NACWE, or you can type in Christian women entrepreneurs and find the NACWE app. And we'll send you an email. You know me, the minute that it actually happens and you can touch it, we'll send you an email saying it's here, go here, do this, do that, push this button, push that button. So, other new things, I really do think we were supposed to go to Peru, and the young woman who introduced us to the opportunity I met at the John Maxwell conference, and she said, we need you guys to come to us in Peru. And she said, my family owns ministry centers, and I'm not sure if they're like retreat centers or conference centers. I'm not really sure. Her name is Allie Lorenzetti, very cute girl. And she said, we own ministry centers in Peru, in Colombia, and then there was another country. And she said, we will host you. We will, you have a place to stay. You have transportation. You have everything that you need. If you'll just come and talk to us and encourage Christian women entrepreneurs. So thank you, Jessica, for reminding me to be true to what we said we were going to do. I don't know. I think it just is an overwhelming concept for me. But once we get it in the works and planning and that sort of thing. We've been to Guatemala twice. I think we will take advantage of the Lorenzetti's offer and go to Peru and maybe to the other 2 countries as well. And I think we will go back to Guatemala. Pretty much for sure we will do that as often as we can yearly. And I've tried to go more than once a year, but we haven't been able to make it more than once a year. It's been a real blessing to work with Christian women entrepreneurs there. They, speaking of soaking it up like a sponge, they just hang on every word you say and are grateful for anything you can do to help. And so that's been really fun. I do not speak Spanish. Kathy speaks Spanish, so I'll give you a little how God works things out. I'm so grateful to the Lord. Just even that the bags came, the bags were really important to me. Speaking of idols of your heart, who talked about that yesterday, I'm like, yeah, these bags, I just love these bags. The first time we decided to go to Guatemala, we planned the trip. We had about 7, 8, 9 people going with us, and we had not a single interpreter. And I don't speak Spanish. So I posted on Facebook. I thought, well, here goes. I don't know what we're going to do. And we had a group that went before us that said they had an interpreter who really didn't do a good job, couldn't speak the language as well as she said she could, and also didn't understand the Christian message of Christian women entrepreneurs, and therefore kind of changed some of the messages around on them a little bit, and they felt like they weren't true to what they had gone there for. So it was very important that we have an interpreter really bought into our Christian women entrepreneur visions and that sort of thing. So I posted on Facebook, we're going to Guatemala in a few days. We have no interpreter. If you know anyone who can be an interpreter, in 2 minutes, I barely shut my phone down. In 2 minutes, we got a response from 2 women. One of them was Kathy, and another one was Sherry, and both of them said the same thing at the same time. They said, I grew up there. I speak the language. I know the culture, and I'm going to be there. I already have plane tickets, and I'm going to be there while you're going to be there, and I can rearrange my schedule and be with you the whole week that we're there. So,
wow.
What a blessing, right? We bought their plane we reimbursed them for their plane tickets kind of as a thank you and as a stipend for having them with us. They went everywhere we went. They were with us every moment. They interpreted for us the whole time. We had a wonderful time. One of the most exciting things we did was work, and watching my time here, was work with a family, an entire family that owned a hotel, the Bougainvillea Hotel in Patalul, Guatemala, close to the lake where my husband grew up, my first husband grew up. So that there was all this sentimental stuff going on for me, as you can imagine. That's where his ashes were spread after he died and that sort of thing. Very special time for me. And they were the family, most of them were from Guatemala. The father, the patriarch of the family was from Spain, and he was a cattle rancher. And his wife said, "I don't want to be a cattle rancher. I want to build this grand hotel." Grand by their standards. It's very beautiful, very cozy, a bit westernized for us, for comfort, air conditioning, and that sort of thing. And so she built this hotel. She had 6 staff members working with her. It was going swimmingly well, and right before they launched everything, she died very suddenly, and this whole family was just devastated, as you can imagine. Children, grandchildren. And they had 2 sons and 2 daughters, and they said to one of their youngest daughters, who just graduated from college, the hotel is your responsibility. And the people who introduced us to her said she is, deer in headlights. Like, what? I don't know what to do. So they're all grieving. The staff is grieving. The staff is not responding to her well at all. And so we went and spent several days with them. We went back again this year we went back again to them and spent some time with them. And one of the things we got to do is what we do, right? We love this, right? Is to just see them relax into their role and to encourage them. And one of the things we said to her is, we had the staff, part of our team. We took Marcella Lawson with us, who is a chef here in Connecticut. We took her with us, and she took the staff and went to a room and worked with the staff. And then I took the owners, the family, and we was part of the team, and we went off together. And basically, one of the things we said to her was, she said, these people are not responding to me. And we were able to just gently say to her, they will, give them some time. Everyone's grieving, everyone's hurting. There are lots of transitions to be made. Transitions are hard. Even when you think they're going the way you want them to go, they're very difficult. And we said, tell us what your staff meetings are like. And she said, staff meetings? We never have staff meetings. And so we were able to do a mock staff meeting with them and show them what it was like. And one of the things this is such a counselor thing, right, Diane? But one of the things we showed her is have everyone sit in the conference room, the staff room, with the focus being the whiteboard. Not you, the new leader of the pack, and not the chef, and not somebody else, but with the whiteboard, and work the problems. What are the problems, and what do we all agree on, and what do we want to see change? How do we want to see this work out? And they did it. They gave her feedback, they talked about. And we were able to say to them also, you're doing an awesome job. It was pouring down cats and dogs, raining. When we got here and you met us, we got off the bus and you had umbrellas for everyone. You got our luggage. You had covers for our luggage. You got us in. They took towels and made elephants and hearts for me, and flowers, and put them on your bed. They really went the extra mile, but they sure appreciate it. We're still friends on Facebook. One of the guys went off and started his own entrepreneur venture, and sadly he tags me in everything he does. How do I say, Romeo? I just love you, but why are you tagging me on everything? You don't want to unfriend or block, or I'm like, how do I say?
I do tag myself occasionally.
I do too. But he's got some cute stuff going on.
His name is Romeo. People are like, who's this Romeo?
Who's Romeo?
He's getting his name.
So, as you can imagine, as you would be if you were with us, we were in our element and thoroughly enjoying it and making new friends and knowing that God was using us in mighty ways in other people's lives. And that's why I do what I do. Every time somebody changes and grows and takes the next step, it's like opening Christmas presents. It makes my world go round. So, the big transition for me is just not counseling anymore. And,
You've got lots of counseling already.
I've done enough, right? But finished my PhD in 2017, and then in 2017 said to Fred, you know, thanks for spending $100,000 on my education. I don't think I want to do that again. And he was like, you're right. You need to be doing what God has called you to do, which is working with Christian women entrepreneurs. So thank you for being here, for watching NACWE grow. We've thought 1,000, Jan mentioned it yesterday. She said, do we ever think of doing regional centers for regional NACWE centers? And we've thought of that. Lou and I trekked across the United States, kind of meeting with some women in St. Louis, in Amarillo, and where was the other? Denver. And, you know, kind of opened that option to people, and so that might be something that will unfold over the months and years in NACWE. If that's what people want to do, I'm there for them. I would rather be kind of in the back running things than right in front of, you know, standing up here, to be honest. So, God bless you. Let me pray.